Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven Nguyen. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So today I want to talk about cash flow from real estate and living off that cash flow from real estate in order to retire. So for those of you following my journey, I went from like 0 to 90 units in about 5 years. And from 2000 and basically 22 to recently, I've been stabilizing my apartment complex. I stabilized my 26 unit, I stabilized my 20 unit, I renovate them fully, churned tenants, did cash out refinances on my 20 unit, my 26 unit, I didn't cash out refinance that. That one I want to hold on to because I have a good interest rate of 4%. But if interest rates drop, I'm going to do a cash out refinance. And in that process, I was doing a value add mobile home park, which I sold for a loss of $100,000. I have a video talking about that. If you're interested, check it out. A lot of pain points I learned from that, and moral of the story is I'm not doing mobile home parks again, especially in high crime areas. That's heavy value add with a bad property manager, right? So check out that video for more details. But pretty much from then, like I would say from November of 2023, that's when everything stabilized, and that's when I started cash flowing. So when you're renovating real estate, you're cash flow negative. When they're stabilized, they're all rented out, you're cash flow positive. And fast forward from November of 2023 up until May of 2024, theoretically, I've been cash flowing between 8 to 12 to 8 to $14,000 a month each month, right? But it's a little bit skewed right now because I am paying my general contracting fee off, so I'm not getting that full cash flow yet. But in theory, if I didn't have that, I'd be averaging between $8,000 to $14,000 a month in cash flow. But given that I'm paying this $5,000 GC fee, which I hope to be done in June, my cash flow is a lot less, right? And just achieving a cash flow. So let's just make it $10,000 a month for simplicity, and on average, I'd say it's amazing, right? That's enough to replace a pharmacist's salary. It's enough to replace many W-2s. But to me, after like cash flowing this much, I realized like how unstable real estate income is. Like yes, like 1 month I can cash flow $10,000 a month, but the next month, like this month, I have a plumbing issue and that cost me $5,000 to $10,000. Boom, I just lost my cash flow. Like, okay, so how stressful would it be if you're dependent on this $10,000 a month in cash flow to cover your living expense, like to cover my house? Like as you can see, I'm in my new house. It has a mortgage now, right? So, and my interest rate is like 6.5%, so it's not low. Um, but I have a mortgage now. I have living expenses, right? If I want to go out, if I want to eat, if I want to do things, I want to go on vacation, right? It's hard, right? Like if I'm cash flowing 10,000, I'm living off let's say 5,000, and I have a 5,000 plumbing issue. I just have zero cash flow, right? And that's a little stressful to me, which is why I still work my W-2, right? So like what I kind of learned is like I personally, because I never experienced it, would feel stressed out if I was just living off my real estate cash flow, right? I own 52 units. My single family homes are cash flow negative. My apartment complex are cash flow positive. Together, they net around $10,000 a month. And that's a lot of money. That's more than I need to live, but I feel like I'd be stressed, right? So for me, like I'd rather just work. And that'd be less stressful to me to just to work than to just live off the $10,000 a month, right? Like if you keep in context, like my just my mortgage and property tax insurance alone on my new house is 7,000. But even before that, let's just say rent. Like let's say my rent all in utilities was 2,500. If I'm cash flowing $10,000 a month, and let's just say on average, I have a $3,000 unexpected expense. I'm down to 7,000, and then I have my let's just call it rent for simplicity. Rent. That's 2,500. So I have roughly, 4,500, and then that's your living expense, right? So I wouldn't feel comfortable living off this cash flow right now, and for me to feel comfortable living off this cash flow is building up a huge reserve. So what I am doing with the cash flow and trying to do is build up a huge emergency reserve fund. And for me, my comfort number is about $150,000. I don't know why I chose that number. It's just for me, given all the real estate I own, the debts, the expenses I can hit. Just a plumbing issue is 10,000. A new roof is 30,000. So times this by multiple properties. So for me, that's just kind of my number that makes me feel comfortable. So right now, I'm slowing down buying real estate because I'm trying to rebuild up this number again, right? I'm trying to build up this um, investment number, my reserve number, and that's why I'm kind of slowing down in real estate, plus burnout a little bit too. But I just thought about it. If I didn't have my W 2 and I went through all this, I'd be stressed. Like I don't think I'd be financially free. I'd be like sitting at home stressed all day, right? So that's why I'd rather just go work. And don't get me wrong, like the moment I build up enough reserves, the moment I limit my liabilities and my expenses, yeah, by all means, I could probably live off this income. But to me, this is the first time experiencing this cash flow, and this is why a lot of real estate investors do multiple things, right? Because ideally, if you want to build long-term wealth, you want to let your real estate self-sustain itself and not live off that cash flow. That's what I learned. That's the key lesson, right? If you stay this long, that's the key lesson. Have your real estate self-sustain itself, and then you have another source of income, whether you're W-2, maybe you're a realtor, maybe you have a side income, maybe you have a side job, maybe you have a mentorship like me. I'm trying to do all the above, right? Live off of that and let your real estate self-sustain itself. And I feel like if I have that mentality, it's less stressful, right? Like, for example, if my real estate cash flow is $10,000 a month, and let's say my mortgage is all in is $8,000, I have a $2,000 margin, which can then be saved to buy more real estate or be in a reserve fund for my other real estate. But I'm not living off of that, right? I'm living off my W-2 income to live my life, right? Or my business income to live my life, right? So this is why I always wonder, I'm like, why do these syndicators, these real estate investors, they own so much real estate, but they still work? Like I follow the guy, Patch Nguyen, he owns like $100 million worth of real estate. He still works, right? He has a mentorship, he has coaching, he's a real estate broker. It's because the real estate is self-sustaining itself, and you need another income to supplement it in case your expenses are more than your income, and that's how you build long-term wealth, right? So it's really a balance, right? Like that's why I'm kind of slowing down, because like I can buy another apartment complex, my quality of life won't improve. Honestly, it's gonna stress me out more right now, right? So that's why I'm focused on stabilizing my real estate portfolio, feeling what it's like to own 52 units stabilized long term, to see, okay, like I said, if you haven't had this much cash flow and someone just tells you it's great, yeah, it's great, but it's different when you experience it yourself. So that's what I mean. Like it's important just to feel it yourself. Like what does it feel like to own the cash flow? Now, that's when I realized, oh yeah, like it's a little stressful, right? Like I wouldn't be able to like enjoy myself until I built up a reserve of $150,000, until my expenses are limited. So until then, that's why I heavily value my W-2 job, right? And you should too. Like don't quit too soon. Or like, if your W-2 job doesn't pay you well, then maybe become a real estate agent and a real estate broker. Like I'm going to do that too. Like once things are a little bit easier for me, once I set up my house, once my job's more stable, once I have a bigger reserve fund and, wedding planning and all this stuff. And once it's all stabilized, then I will probably study to become a real estate broker. And then that's how you kind of do it. So, becoming a real estate broker, and that's how I do it. So, you build a source of income, and that helps supplements it. So, ideally, to summarize, I want my real estate to cover my mortgage. So, if I'm cash flowing $10,000, my mortgage is $8,000. I have $2,000 net, and whatever other income I make, that's what I live off of. That's my ideal lifestyle. So, hopefully, this gave you some insight as to what it's like to really own like 52 units of real estate that really cash flows $10,000 a month plus. It's not as glamorous as it seems. There's a reason why real estate investors still have other side businesses, right? Like even me, if I do leave my W-2, I'm probably gonna be a real estate broker, right? And a loan officer or some sort combination of that, just to have extra sources of income. I'm doing YouTube coaching, mentorship, right? Because you need the income coming in. This is why all real estate investors, definition, asset rich, cash poor. We got a lot of assets. The assets self-sustain itself, but we're cash poor, so we need to do another W-2 job, side income, side business to get that cash flow in, right? So that's what I realized after 8 years of doing real estate. No, wait, sorry. That's, 7 years of doing real estate, basically getting up to $10,000 a month in cash flow. And I realized, you know what? I like the stability of this W-2 income right now. Every 2 weeks, guaranteed money. Don't stress, don't worry. If real estate's not doing well one month, you can cover it because you work in W-2. Right? So this is what people don't realize, right? This is what a lot of people on YouTube will not tell you. So hopefully you got value from this. Hopefully this shows you the reality of what it's like to own a lot of real estate, to a lot of real estate that cash flows, and why a lot of real estate investors still have to have another source of income, right? So please let me know if you have any questions down below. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video with someone who can benefit from it. If you want to learn how to buy real estate, check out my course, my mentorship program, and hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.